The investigative news agency Voice of OC did some great work getting their hands on some surveillance footage of a marijuana shop bust. It shows Santa Ana police raiding the Sky High Holistic Dispensary, and they're basically acting like criminals. That's the best way to describe it. They say it was an illegal marijuana dispensary. Now, we'll get more into that later. I'm going to show you part of their video here. I urge you to watch the full video. It has much more stuff in there. I'll leave the link in the description box. But let's go ahead and watch a clip here.
Stand, please. Clear. Secondary door.
Your hands, buddy. Your hands. Hands up. That's search. How did it go up here? Just the latest is out real bad.
I was a little irritated, but everything's fine now.
Did you punch that one-legged one?
How was it about the kicker in her fucking knob?
Did you punch that one-legged one?
How was it about the kicker in her fucking knob?
Is that why you were getting irritated?
How was it about the kicker in her fucking knob?
Is it code 4 in here? Did you order the food red?
Do not need a small. Take like one edible.
Louis, the good old days. What flavor? That's like a super hit. That's like a super hit.
Yeah, I get the price.
At the end there, they were eating edibles. They raid the marijuana shop, and then they actually take the drugs. They raid the marijuana shop because drugs are bad and illegal, and then they do the drugs. Remind me again how this system makes sense? At least 2 of them did edibles. And they were just casually, nonchalantly talking about it. Later on, they show another, one of these guys, the bigger guy who looks like he's on steroids. He's eating like a bar. Now that one, they say, well, we actually don't know if that guy was actually eating a protein bar or if it was an edible. But at least 2 of them did eat edibles. When you watch that, it just becomes obvious that they are the criminals. They're the criminals there. Guys, I don't know how that would have been any different if it was an actual robbery. Okay, let's walk through this. So at the beginning, they break down the door. Why? Why are you breaking down the door? Now understand, they were open. It was a normal day. They were open for business. There were already a bunch of people in there just casually shopping, looking at the products. But they fucking break down the door with a battering ram. Why? Why would you do that? They do that, okay, already unnecessary. You could have just walked in. And then they come in, guns drawn already, and they're like, get on the ground. Again, why? They're just standing there. People are just standing there shopping, doing nothing. It's like if you went into any medical marijuana shop in California. People are just shopping the same they would as if they were in a liquor store, for example. So they force everybody to the ground. That was unnecessary as well, in my opinion. Then they joke about it. A fucking amputee lady. They're joking about, I wanted to kick her in her nub. Also, by the way, let's pause and reflect on the fact that there was an amputee there to buy marijuana, which kind of shows that it actually is a marijuana dispensary that's for medicinal purposes. Now, I'm sure some people go in there for recreational shit, but who gives a fuck? But at least for that woman, for sure, let's say they blocked her sale. Well, what if she ran out of weed and she's in fucking pain later on that day? Again, who are the criminals? Remind me again who the criminals are? And then they're breaking the cameras. I mean, that, again, pound the gavel, son. It's over. Who are the criminals here? Isn't that destruction of evidence? Isn't that obviously not the proper protocol? Isn't that not what you're supposed to do? I mean, if you were doing this in a legitimate way, aren't you supposed to take that and then bring it, to the police department, and then you put it in evidence and stuff like that? And then, I mean, a lot of times, unfortunately, what they do is civil asset forfeiture, and then they take it and they use it themselves, or they take money and they use the money to fund their own police departments. Guys, look, we've legalized a class of people, officers, law enforcement, to shake down society whenever they fucking feel like it. That's what the drug war has led to. Look, I mean, I don't know, when you see that, I don't know if there's anybody who can defend this and can say it's a good thing that marijuana is still illegal at a federal level. And again, that wasn't even, this was the Santa Ana Police Department, so this wasn't even federal agents cracking down. They were local, And what that shows me is they are just doing shakedowns. Because, again, they said it was an illegal marijuana dispensary. You know what my response to that is? So, illegal how? Give me more detail on that. And even if you do give me more detail on that, you know how you address the illegality of the place? You tell them, hey, man, go get your permit. That's it. That's it. That's all you have to do. Worst case scenario, what do? Oh, you're running it in an illegal way. Here, I'm gonna write you a ticket. Because medical marijuana is legal in California. That's what they're doing. He's got a dispensary just like all the other dispensaries. So for some weird reason, they're saying it's illegal. Very vague. I don't know why they're saying it's illegal. But even if it was illegal, you don't do what the fuck you just did right there. But that's the point, man. They're criminals. These police officers are criminals. What they did is a robbery right there. That's what they did. Armed robbery right there. They scared the shit out of a bunch of innocent people minding their business, just living their lives, going about their day. Could you imagine a coffee shop was treated like that? Caffeine's a drug. You do know that, right? Can you imagine somebody busts into Starbucks, tells people to breaks the door for no reason, tells people to get on the ground while pointing guns at them. They destroy the security cameras and they start drinking the coffee themselves. As they say to you, it's illegal for you to drink coffee and I'm going to take your business because of that. It's just absolutely drenched in hypocrisy and it's drenched in stupidity. And the drug war itself is a complete failure. We know this. The idea going into the drug war was limit or eliminate people taking drugs. Well, guess what, tough guys? There's more people taking drugs today than there was when you started the fucking drug war. Not to mention, now there are gigantic criminal enterprises that are making money nonstop as a result of this. You made the drug cartel stronger because of the drug war, you idiots. That's what happened during Prohibition. How do you think the mafia got so powerful? Because you banned alcohol, so obviously the criminal organizations fill that void in the marketplace. They make all the money. They have a monopoly, and now you have the mafia incredibly powerful and incredibly rich. Well, now, why do you think we have the mega drug cartels now in Mexico that are so vicious they take on the army in Mexico? Because we created that monster with our dumbass policies. The least we can do is decriminalize marijuana on a federal level and stop people at a state and local level from doing shit like this. But what we really should do is legalize it, man. You wouldn't want to do a shakedown of a coffee shop. You wouldn't want to do a shakedown of a liquor store. Why the fuck would you want to do a shakedown of a marijuana shop? We all just casually bought into the double standard and the hypocrisy that we have in our society where some drugs are legal and some drugs are illegal, but it doesn't make any fucking sense. There's no reason to morally judge somebody who smokes weed, but you give the guy who drinks whiskey a total pass. It doesn't make any sense. You're being irrational if that's how you look at it. But then again, clearly rationality isn't the point and justice isn't the point, because if it was the point, you would not have the officers being robbers themselves.